All right, mic check. 1, 2.
Hello.
I thought you were going to do something stupid.
I never do anything stupid.
Like be super loud.
So your job's to keep Chris in check. Cracked up with it.
I didn't say that. I didn't even lead him to that. I don't know how he came to
The first thing he said to you.
Yeah, I don't know how he came to that conclusion.
I didn't think I was that off the rails.
For now, let us relish within the Lotus.
Season 2, Episode 10, Bad Rep.
Welcome, everyone, to Episode 10 of Season 2 of the Juggalo Rewind podcast, where we deep dive into each Juggalo historical track and give you all the details and more week by week, track by track, lyric by lyric. My name is Peter. I'm here with Chris. What's going on?
Oh, just hitting the home stretch. Trying to get spooky back on these tracks. Last week got a little spooky. This week we'll see. We'll see if it stays spooky.
Yeah, I'm not holding out any hope. We got a couple non-spooky on the way. Just as a reminder, as we said, we go through we go through historical Juggalo albums, track by track, and whether you're a new fan to the Juggalo world, or you're a old school fan, or you're not a fan at all, you're just here to listen to us banter about bullshit, we welcome you.
Intro to Juggalo Music 101 class.
Now that would have been funny.
Maybe we'll get a job down at Wayne State teaching it. The old cast corridor where they hung out, the clowns hung out.
It is funny when you always see, like, Duke University has online class about Seinfeld or, like, The Simpsons.
Yeah, here, give us $7,000 and we'll teach you about Seinfeld. And you can't do a goddamn thing with this credit.
Give me all your human monies.
And you can learn about Tupac. How fun is that?
Did you see the Danhausen video where he tried to get William Regal's suit and shoes?
No, you sent it.
Oh my God.
I didn't know if it was during the show, so I didn't want to spoiler if I got to it, but it was after.
It was an after thing.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
So you will give me your suit and no, give me your shoes. Yeah, right now. Give me your shoes or you will be cursed.
All right, hello everyone. This is Danhausen here. Yes. You look good. You look good. You look good. You look the best, though. Look at his suit. Now, Danhausen has a proposition for you. Either you give Danhausen the suit for free, or you're cast. Give me your shoes.
We'll watch that before the end of the night. Anyways, this isn't a wrestling podcast or a university podcast yet. But if you want to hear us talk about wrestling, you can go follow the 20x20 pod, which is 20x20 Rewind.
Yeah.
I think I said that wrong. Or 20x20 Apparel.
There's definitely a different one called 20x20 Pod that is not us.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why we ventured off, and then that failed. Well, not failed, but took a hiatus, and now we're doing Juggalo stuff.
We'll try to sprinkle some in if we ever get like a backlog of these on tap, and we could sneak one in. We got a good crossover one in mind.
Yeah, we have... As usual, we have a ton of ideas, and we'll see what comes up. So, yeah, we are helping everyone out track by track, and you know the deal. If you want to follow us on your social medias, that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JuggaloRWD. You can listen to us wherever you're listening now, or anywhere. YouTube, usually I get these right off the top of my head, but now I'm blanking. Apple Music, Google, Spotify.
Those are the big three, because you got to rate, review, and share, subscribe on those ones. That's what you need to do.
Yes.
If you're already listening, that's what you need to do. And if you're new, then, I guess you could pick a different one. You go, oh, shit, I didn't know you had YouTube. I didn't know you had Spotify. I'll switch to those.
Yeah. You want to listen on Podbean? We got someone who's the Detroit M&E street team person. I think that's their handle.
I always assume it's a whole group because they're street team. So I'm like, is there 7 guys just sitting together listening?
Hey, motherfuckers, if there's 7 of you, we need 7 downloads. Don't be sharing it amongst each other.
There's a lot of different street teams, in the Magic Ninja world. I'm always
there's like why do I always see Detroit, Colorado? I know there's a bunch of other ones, but
I visualize back in the day. Remember the Obi Trice street team? They were just like that big pack that marched the street with the flags and stuff. They were real sweet.
Remember the King Gordy street team?
Yeah, there was 4 of us, 5 of us.
You still talk to that other guy?
No, I forgot his name. He was cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't remember his name.
Boy Kelly, he was in that time frame, but he was too cool to be in the street team because he was graphic designer hired by them. So he's like, I don't hang out with you street teamers. I'm hanging out with the big dogs. I remember that, Boy Kelly.
Big time in us. Since 2004.
He's like, you're driving around King Gordy to buy him chicken sandwiches from Wendy's. I'm here hanging out in the studio with him.
Yeah, yeah, but did you get to go to Chocolate City? No.
They had good chicken wings.
They also served underage Chris.
And underage Steve.
That's beside the point. Anyways, this isn't a podcast about...
Gordy!
maybe another season.
Patreon episode.
So you're listening wherever you're listening. People want to know YouTube, and yes, YouTube is always on there. So stare at a picture and listen to us for an hour. You can email us, juggalorwd@gmail.com. The website is juggalorewind, the full name, .com. Call us, 810-666-1570. We haven't had a lot of calls in the past couple weeks, but we're banking them up, and we're going to play
Still
them.
haven't heard anyone call. We had an email, right, or a message about doing the seance. It was a post, a response on Instagram.
They were talking about doing the seance?
Yeah, they seen a ghost wrapped in a skeleton ghost wrapped in a bed sheet with Egyptian writing all over it. That sounds spooky.
I hope he closed the gate.
I hope he did. That fucker's still wandering around.
It's like, I don't know, never mind. That's a reference. It doesn't matter. We'll just move on.
Well, yeah, no one's called and told us if they've done it, so.
Maybe everyone's waiting to do it at the end of the season like we are.
You are.
We are together.
I'll be in the car. Like I said, it's like a stakeout. I have the earpiece in, I'll listen. And if you start yelling, close the gate, I'll run in the house and try to save you.
Try to save me. All right. That's all the social medias. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Anything else you want to tie up before we get moving?
No. Thank everyone who came out to Astronomicon last week. Right?
Oh
was
yeah.
Last week? So shout out to all of you that came by the table and talked to us, me, Pete's MIA, but I was there holding it down, so thank you. Shout out to you.
Yeah, I can't be everywhere for everybody, but I'll be there next time.
Where were you? Were you out trying to find the lost scrolls that Jumpsteady left behind to finish the Tales from the Lotus Pod?
I might as well have been. It's pretty close. That'll be another story for another day. But maybe at the end of the season we'll do a wrap up about Astro.
Yeah,
that's not a terrible idea.
Put a little side note somewhere.
Yeah, maybe in the next week or two. We're just trying to get back. Well, we could do that too. But yeah, we're just trying to get rolling on episodes so you're not missing what you came here to hear. And we'll do something.
You got something to hear this week.
Yeah. You'll have something to hear next week too. Good Lord. Yeah. Maybe we'll do an Astro on the 20x20 if there's a lot of wrestling talk.
Yeah,
we'll let everyone know what we're doing. It's all good. I have one quick story as I'm looking at Chris's screensaver on his computer here. I was on the way here. Well, this will tie in very nicely to the Booski of the Week.
Oh.
Well, no, not to something spooky. Booski of the Week, I stopped by 7-Eleven on the way here, and I got a nice purple Gatorade Fierce.
For the purple show?
While it is in a plastic bottle, I have stopped reusing plastic bottles.
Yeah, refilling them.
Because we got a post, the guy literally said, I'm worried about you and your microplastics.
That's right.
So,
keep refilling those boys.
I'm going to do my best to not do that anymore. So I got a nice fresh one here.
Okay.
Everyone who's listening has probably been to a 7-Eleven, right?
Right.
You've been to 7-Eleven? You know how the parking lot is just straight up against the building?
Yeah, it's very tight.
Sometimes you get the side boy.
Yeah.
Right? This motherfucker, when I was leaving, biggest truck humanly possible, backed into the spot. Against it was in the front, right to the door. Do you really need to back
That
up
seems
your,
like
your
a
fucking
spot to back in.
your F350 backing in? Like he pulled behind me and then backed. Why?
Maybe he's gonna rob it. You didn't stick around to see. You had to jump in the getaway vehicle fast.
I did not. I left immediately. Yeah, an asshole. Complete asshole.
Okay, in that scenario, I'd say, yeah, it's a bit much. But, in a big parking lot, I still like to back in. There's no one around if I'm doing it. If no one's coming down the aisle while I'm doing it, who am I harming?
You're never going to sell me on that.
There's no one around me. I have, picking up Ivan from school, there's been someone, like, twice she's been in front of me backing in, and it takes excessively long, and I'm watching people, like, waiting to get by her. And I just die laughing to myself because I'm like, yeah, she doesn't know how to back in, and there's like 4 people waiting now.
It's horrible. That's something we need to eradicate from society.
If that's the worst of our worries.
That's not. It's like the very least of all of our worries.
You get hot on it, though.
I do. It doesn't take much for me to get hot on things, so I'm sure by the end of today we'll find something else. All right, that was my story of getting something to drink for the week. Do you need to add to the segment with yours?
Oh.
Give me beer. I'm done. I ain't got no beer, man. I'm on a brewski, huh? And a booski. Toss me a beer. Yeah. Dog, we ain't got no fucking beer for it, Joe. What? So? This is a cold one. Yo, all right, man. We ain't got no fucking beer for it, Joe. Stop it. Jesus.
Crack her open?
Go right ahead.
Hello, crack her open.
Why don't you make the loudest noise possible as you drag it across the bar? What an asshole.
Ooh. This one's courtesy of co-host Peter here. You picked this one up, so...
Oh, now I'm Chris's co-host. Wrangler, handler, co-host.
I like to call you the host. I'm the color commentator.
You're like the Rob Bartlett of the first...
So do I have to explain this one, or do you have to explain since you picked it?
No, you still have to do the reading and all
Oh,
that
well,
shit. So.
yeah. This one's a repeat offender on the podcast.
Oh, it's going to get 2 tags
yeah,
and no
just
replies.
recently we had this one. McKellar Brewing out of San Diego. Shout out to you again. If you listened back 2 weeks ago, we had the thick-ass blood motor oil can.
Motor oil can.
This one, we're going a little lighter. A dry-hopped Berliner style Weiss beer brewed with peach and apricot. And here we got a little picture, and I'm assuming this is Mike Clark sitting there, and he's very happy, and he's got Twisted on one side, and he's got ICP on the other, and he's like, you're both my favorites, and I love you all, even though you're very upset in this song, so...
Even though right now I don't think I associate with either one of you.
But back then he was, and he's like, you guys are very sad. You got a bad rep by your mama and your daddy and everybody. And here I am, I'm loving you both. And is Blaze on this track?
The Blaze is on this track.
Well, sorry, Blaze, you're not getting hugs from Mikey Clark on here. But this one, I haven't tasted. Let's see, a little sip. Ooh. That's nice, little tart, little apricot. This is a 5% alcohol, and on the bottom, a little Easter egg, just like...
We need to start getting these every week, because there's like 20 different flavors, so...
They're all delicious so far. This one, it says, you're my favorite. Well, if you remember on Give Me That Blood, it said...
Motor oil.
Motor oil, so... If you find one of these in your store, maybe they're popping up, because, yeah, we found them recently. It's a limited series, though.
Oh, yeah,
Rare.
the store by my work has, like, it had to be a dozen different flavors of that,
Keep
that
one
brand.
sealed, limited edition. And here I am pouring it into the, I believe, appropriate glass for this.
What did you say? What kind of drink is that?
A Weiss. Berlin style, Bernier style, whatever it said.
I have no idea what you're
Looks
talking
crisp, looks refreshing. Ooh.
about. Oh, look at all that sediment
Oh,
coming
God.
to the bottom.
Don't let me drink that. I'll be pooping my pants.
Glove. And then what did we talk about? Maybe I'll give this a little snifsky. A little snitsky.
Yeah, you enjoy sniffing them.
Yeah, so we talked, I don't even think you said it's called Playing Favorites. Did you say that? Mm-hmm. And I think the play on that is Playing Favorites because the song is Bad Rep, so it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the closest thing I could find, so fuck yeah.
I just think of Jay saying,
Oh,
no one loves him. He's the lovable loser.
I don't like the smell of that. Ah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it almost smells like an IPA. Not weed enough for an IPA, but kind of in that realm.
I think I'm gonna throw up. Fucking disgusting.
I gotta let the sediment settle before so I don't throw up.
Better mix that boy up. It's like I said I like some pulp.
What was that?
It's the paving guy. I'm thinking of having the driveway redone.
You smoking?
What is this, a 3rd degree?
It says with pulp.
You like it with pulp.
Not this much. I like the one that says some pulp. What the fuck was that
That's
for?
our Sopranos reference for the week. All right, are you ready to jump into this so that we can get this done and watch Carly Rae Jepsen on TV?
Oh yeah. And I really
Just in there killing it. God damn. Baby, baby. Come on, goddammit, Chris! Chris! You know what? Go in there and knock on the door.
She got a new album coming out this year. Sorry to timestamp it, folks, but I cannot wait.
She doesn't take any. She's limitless. She's timeless.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was trying to say.
I gotta get a photo of this too before I drink it all.
Yeah, while Chris does that, I will talk about the notes here. Producer on this track. Oh, this will be funny. Producer on this track is Mike E. Clark, as we said on the cover of the beer can that Mike Clark is hugging his family tightly. We had a little, what do you call it, discussion if this was a Mike Clark track or a Fritz track.
Yeah, I don't know if we know this for sure.
So we contacted, right before we started recording, our buddy Jiggles, the homie, and he confirms that it is Mike Clark track. He thinks the Fritz only did 3 songs, to which Chris said, and I quote, "What the fuck does he know?" I wish we had that on.
I'm just saying. Hey, I need some confirmation other than just him saying that. What's his source? I need a source for this. I think it's still up in the air. I think it could go either way.
What's your source and what the fuck do you know are 2 totally different things.
Love you, Jiggle. That doesn't mean any harm by it. I'm just saying. I think we could still investigate.
Yes, it was just funny.
I think it's tentatively Mike Clark, but I don't know. There's a little Fritz vibes to it, maybe.
Chris is legitimately mad at me because I just threw him under the bus without telling him I was going to do that. Just go take your picture. You don't have to sit here.
I'll tell it to his face if we ever run into him.
You beat your fucking ass is what he would do. He'd hit your head with a guitar like Honky Tonk and Macho Man. Time on this track is a nice, healthy 4 minutes and 46 seconds. I think we do have a good 30 seconds or so intro. I don't know about that. We don't really have an outro, but we have some weird bullshit. So I'm sure that'll tie up our nearly 5 minutes here. Track number, as we said, this is episode 10, track 10. Nothing on this season throws us off of that. Not found in anything else. We don't have any like samples or notes or anything crazy. But one note, to note, as what a note does, is this is only the one of those tracks that has 5 members.
Right.
Blaze, Twisted, ICP. Psychopathic Family.
See, this is where I think you're speculating that it's a Mike Clark track because Fritz would still be around and they could easily add, Mars, but maybe Mars just doesn't make sense on this. Maybe he's like, I can't rap about whatever this is. It doesn't fit.
That's also true. But for whatever reason, no Mars, no ABK, just, it's not the... Jesus Christ. It's not the 4-member era. It's not the full era. It's like that weird 5-member era.
It's not the Godsmack era or the Crazy Bone era.
Or one of Isham's many eras.
Vampiro. Child of the wretched, wicked darkness.
Are you done?
No.
All right, so those are the notes. You done over there with your gimmick?
Yep.
All right, I need to turn the lights back up because I can't see.
Sorry, I forgot to turn it back up.
Jesus Christ.
You got to listen and watch in live as I took a photo. Isn't that kind of fun, folks? Enjoy that, huh? I don't know.
That's the last time I leave you alone to talk for 30 seconds.
It's again like when Jerry Lawler, the color guy gets stuck when, someone goes to the table and the play-by-play guy's mic goes out and the color guy's got to call commentary. It doesn't go well.
Is that too bright? Are we okay?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Just ruin the ambiance.
I can turn it back down
It's
if
fine.
you want. All right. I have my lyric book. I don't have my pencil, so I'll just have to wing it. Bad rap. Rap.
No.
Sounds like... Never mind. It doesn't sound like that at all. So bad rap, as in bad reputation.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just bad representatives. They're, you got store reps. Maybe they're Dark Carnival reps, and they're upset with their representation of the Dark Carnival.
In general. I think we've started doing this, but just overall, if the song is bad rap, I think we're talking... Oh, my notebook is getting too fat. I can't keep it straight here. Sorry for all the noise. Talking about like what the song is actually about before we start getting into it based on the title and the opening chorus.
I forgot to point out this is technically untitled, but go on.
Yes. So we're assuming, or we're kind of pre-speculating what the song is about, why everyone here has a bad reputation, whether it's in their family, friend circle, neighborhood.
I mean, probably because they were sleeping with corpses a few episodes back. That probably doesn't help their reputation.
No. Is this... Well, before we get super deep into it, does this go along with your theory about moving through the pyramids, or are we going to wait till the end?
Yeah, so, of course, they got possessed back in Black Magic a few episodes back, became like vampires or just feeding for blood. They needed blood to, quench the thirst of this curse they got, and then from then they got, tried to, another spell to remove these demons, and then they got a whole nother demon possessed on Headache, completely possessed by a demon. So now they're like, I got a bad reputation. I got 2 demons fighting in my head. No one knows who I am. I got multiple personalities. So that's where we're at, I think. And now they're just complaining about the demons in their heads.
All right. If you say so. Opening chorus. Mr. Violent J.
It's good to have him back at the front.
Yeah.
He missed it for a week or two.
Frontman of Dark Lotus, right back at it. Starts with a little like record scratching intro, the little chick. Then it goes into the
The
beat.
shaky.
Kind of simplistic, I guess, chorus here. But it sets the tone for the whole song, right? Like Jay saying, everybody loves me, mom and daddy love me, neighbors love me, someone gotta love me. But after all of those, you hear no.
Yeah.
So it's like he's, I don't know, hyping himself up, but then there's a voice, whether in his head or just the rest of society, saying, no, that's wrong.
Right. That was always cool live. You recently posted the set list from the Gathering. That was one of the handful they actually played, right? Was Bad Rep.
Yeah, I think that was, I didn't count,
I remember
but
them all bouncing up and down and be like, no.
There's only like 4 songs,
Yeah,
right?
they open with 3 and then they close with Juggalo Family.
My God.
Which makes sense. It's a new album. You don't want to give people a bunch that they don't know.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. It's just in our heads, we kept saying, like, oh, I bet they played the whole CD.
Yeah.
Which, do I want to get into this now or later? I'm sure it'll come up later. This CD isn't its own... the Lotus gimmick isn't a gimmick. Like, there's a handful of songs on here that fit that narrative, but it's basically an ICP and Twisted CD.
Yeah. Well, as we went through, the 3 sessions, kind of chunks.
Yeah, if we start breaking those up, then, I bet that gets outweighed incredibly.
Yeah, everything early is for sure they're just ICP Twisted and the new guy Blaze.
I mean, might as well... Why can't you have Hound Dogs on the CD?
Right.
Or any of those?
This is the track that solidifies it, that it's anything.
Just as a group.
Yeah, this is just a group track, I feel like.
Also, we haven't talked about this, I don't think. Maybe other supergroups don't do this, so I don't know. Supervillains, they all have like alter egos.
Yeah.
Riders have alter egos. Lotus is just them.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Violent J. I'm Jamie Madrox.
It's weird because they kind of like talk like they're a different entity at times.
But they're not at all. Like,
Yeah, they've dropped their names multiple times, and I hope this isn't Violent J in this song.
That's a whole nother discussion that we'll
get there.
get to in a minute. So yeah, nice 30 seconds here of Violent J's, whatchamacallit, intro.
The beat also is great on this one. I think that stands out on
Yeah,
this.
no, very cool.
Doodle-doo.
Hmm?
Doodle-doo.
Verse number 1, the monoxide child of the band Twisted.
Oh, the little boy.
What?
He was a child of the band.
The young boys. So he leads right into that gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Everyone treating him like shit, not knowing why, and then he goes into kind of the shitty things that he does, I guess, or why people hate him. I highlighted here that I guess I'm familiar with it, but I very rarely, if ever, hear it used. I'm out of my tree. Like, do you ever hear or use that phrase?
Ooh, no, that sounds like something like the 20s. That boy's out of his tree.
Or something very southern, like, that boy ain't right. But it just basically means that you're crazy.
Did you look that up?
Yeah. But I don't know the origin of it. Please don't let it be something that we have to delete off of here. But, yeah, it's just like you're off your rocker, you're out your tree.
Yeah, that does feel like, out of your rocker. Let's see.
Very southern, very, shout out to all of our southern listeners. I don't know how many we really have.
Oh, it says it's an Urban Dictionary. It says it's being under the influence of chemical substances. Have you seen Amy? Yeah, she's out of her tree on the dance floor. Think that's the same Amy that wound up in the attic?
Probably. Is that the same Amy that was singing on Take Me Home?
That could be.
Jeez.
Sorry. I've been sick this entire episode. Or this entire season. I think it's a curse.
This is like the first episode I don't feel like shit.
I feel better because I went to a minute clinic and got a Z-Pack because I had sinus infection. So this is twice already this year. I've gotten a cold or something from daycare, and then it just sits and festers in my sinus tract and it becomes an infection. So I feel better on that end. It's just still kind of
Yeah. Did you get that Z-Pack from WWE's doctors?
That shit's like a steroid, though. It's like 5 hours into taking it. I'm like, boom, I'm already feeling good. I get it.
Well, CM Punk didn't get it. Almost killed his ass. So, yeah, one interesting note here, and it comes up in a couple verses here. Get on your knees and pray, Lotus is your judgment day. So
that's the standout track or line to me on this.
Man, I think he's got a couple.
Yeah.
His whole verse is kind of memorable to me.
The opening's super cool. Everybody treats me like I'm the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's real cool. I like that he just starts being like, well, why does everyone hate me? I don't know. I like to hang with the hookers and winos and get tats with their heroin needles. That seems like people in the neighborhood would think you're weird. And
I mean, Jesus hung with hookers and winos.
Wow, look at you. Motherfucker. You just took that in a different direction. Well then, church boy, I love to kiss on the bitches with bad breath and choke her by the neck while I just fuck her to death.
I don't think Jesus was doing that.
No.
Maybe bad breath. I mean, they probably weren't brushing their teeth back then.
So he's kissing on the bitches?
Goes back to them being maybe time warped into the Egyptian temple, and they find out themselves back in ancient Egyptian time. Or the zombies in the graveyard. Neither of them have been brushing their teeth. So this is a callback, I think, to either Alibaba or And We Danced. He's kissing on some ancient Egyptians that he found back before there was the invention of a toothbrush, or the zombies who weren't brushing their teeth.
So now either the cemetery is in ancient Egypt.
I'm just saying either song.
Was he the one that had to take the girl's teeth out?
Ooh, yeah, he was.
So, yeah.
The breath probably was kicking right through that hole in the mouth.
Something was kicking through the hole in the
Funk
mouth.
of 50,000 years. Is that what they say on that?
Well, who cares? We're over it. We're on the next track. So, yeah, as much as we're making fun of this, it actually tells it sets a good precedent for what the song is about, right?
And he gives some Lotus, at least referencing Lotus for a track that's not very Lotus-like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I really pick that sentence. Like, so the beginning is kind of him setting the stage. The end is saying what he does that's fucked up. But that part, get on your knees and pray, Lotus is your judgment day, is he telling them, like, hey, all you people who, like, don't understand what I'm doing, like, I'm kind of like, not the next coming, but, like, Lotus is coming and, like, this is normal?
Yeah, maybe because you're judging all of us. Get on your knees and pray, Lotus is here to fuck you up.
And now it's normal to do what you're doing?
Kind of doesn't fit when you break it down, but it sounds cool throughout this, like, when it pops up.
So, I guess, as much as we make fun of all of these tracks, right? Listening to this on the way here to the studio today, yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm dissecting, like, oh, that doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But if you take it out of that, yeah, it's a sweet song.
Yeah, you're just
like,
bumping it.
Thinking about, like, the first time you heard it live or on the CD or whatever, yeah, it's super cool. It's just, we're just doing something stupid and breaking down, like, what do these lyrics actually mean? And it kind of throws that into a tizzy, and maybe we can all sit here and just kind of make fun of it a little bit. But if in 2 months or 6 months or whatever I put on the CD and I'm just listening to enjoy, good verse, good song, good CD. Like,
and a good spot where it pops up, because he had, Headache was more of a, and Give Me That Blood. Give Me That Blood's more upbeat, but Headache, yeah, kind of darker.
Dip down a little bit.
Quieter. This is more just a, upbeat party track almost. So,
just to, every once in a while we got to say we're not being negative towards the product. We're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing this every week because we enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really called us out for it. And I know this is a side note, but, like, we're just fucking around. We're just being fun. Like, we love this song. We love this CD. But, yeah, breaking down word by word is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
So that's
the fun of it.
That's our little, later on when someone accuses us of
being toxic.
Yeah. We're trying not to add to the toxicity.
Well, I'll tell them, well, kiss my ass. The red eye marks the spot.
All right, we're jumping right into verse 2 with Shaggy 2 Dope. What the fuck is the red eye?
Like, it little like the circle around your actual asshole. It's a little red.
Isn't that the brown eye? Why would you
That's
call it
because
the
you
red
didn't
eye?
wipe it. That means you're dirty. You got a little brown ski hanging around.
No, but they always call it the brown eye or the brown door.
I thought that was a reference to your shit, like, being there.
No, I think it was just your butthole.
Should I Google what red eye asshole means?
If you Google red eye, you're gonna get Rachel McAdams. You're gonna start jerking off right now.
I still gotta see that movie.
You've never seen that?
I know, it's fucking Wes Craven and Rachel McAdams. How am I not watching this?
It was a trivia question at Astronomicon the first year.
I think I gave you that question.
No, I don't think you did. No.
Yeah.
Then what was the question?
It was something about Wes Craven's highest grossing movie. Wasn't it Nightmare on Elm Street or something?
I think of the top 5, 4 were Nightmare on Elm Street. What was the 5th one? I think that was it.
Yeah.
Don't try to take credit for my shit.
I had some good ones this year.
Just because you got one under your belt doesn't mean that you're gonna be lucky we don't have to delete this if it bombs it up.
I put a good Seinfeld on it.
I think the red eye maybe is Boyle.
Boyle?
He's got a little hemorrhoid boy back there.
That could be it. Those are bright red and sticking. I don't know. I think it's just a little circle around your asshole.
Right, like the areola to the nipple.
Yeah.
You think it's the puckering of the butthole? Anyways, he drops a Lotus line here. To find the Lotus click, well, you gotta look. So he's talking Lotus.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Overall, this verse sucks. What are you talking about? As much as we said that, like, hey, this is the title, the chorus is leading us to something, Monoxide led us to something, you tell me, what the fuck is he talking about? You please explain that to me.
He's saying people, like, are cool with him, faking it to his face, but behind their back they're talking shit to him. So he's like, "You kiss my ass. I don't give a shit about you." And they're asking him what makes him tick, what the fuck he's doing in his life. He don't know. He's crazy. You can't see what he's doing with trifocal heat specs.
I don't know. I don't think he got the memo on what the song is about. I get the matter of fact, fuck you and my rep. Like,
yeah.
He's saying it doesn't matter what you think of me. But the rest of that, I don't get it.
He's saying people to his face are cool to him, but behind their back,
I get that.
Makes him want to snap. That's basically what the whole first part is. And then he throws in a Lotus line that kind of sticks out of just randomly.
I don't know. When you're reading it, I can put it more together, but listening to it like over and over, I'm like, this doesn't tie in. I
don't think it's that off the rails.
My note is doesn't say at all why people hate him. And it doesn't.
That's true. Because Monoxide so far is hanging out with heroin and junkies and winos.
Bad breath bitches.
He's just part of the Lotus clique. The Lotus clique in general has got a bad rap.
All right.
Trifocal Heat's back, so that's a pretty
very specific.
I had to look what trifocals are. Do you think Shaggy was wearing them back then? I think he had glasses all along.
I don't know. I just assumed it was like, I'm picturing like desert where he's got like the night vision.
I was thinking Jurassic Park when he puts that big head thing on. It's like,
the giant binoculars.
But trifocals are like for near and far sighted, right? That's what I was just looking to verify.
Yeah. You said that there's nothing on Genius about this song. We can start throwing stupid shit in there like that.
About that stuff.
Trifocals are
just to get our point total up.
Yeah. We have like 126 points.
Oh yeah, good job.
I think so.
I didn't do anything for that.
Yeah.
I'm busy making memes.
You're busy putting twisted faces on Chris Farley.
Lotus faces on Joe Biden.
Are you done with him?
Back to the hook. Everybody love me. Boom. Mama, daddy love me. No. A fun live one.
Yeah, so we get that chorus again.
Everybody let me go. Mom and daddy let me go. All my neighbors let me go. Someone gotta love me. Everybody let me go. Mom and daddy let me.
I wrote delusional because it kind of just goes towards he doesn't realize how people perceive him. So, verse 3, Violent J. Double verse boy, we should call him, because he's got a
story to tell.
So my wife was looking at my notebook. I think she was making fun of me today because she's like, "You're very well organized." I'm like, "This is my Dark Lotus notebook."
Dark Lotus notebook.
She's like, "Oh, like," because she was trying to read some of it, and I said, "Yeah, look at this," and I have a little frowny face next to this verse.
A little frowny face.
I'm like, "Yeah, this is yeah." So it's a double verse because
it's double because you got to split the two. There's 5 members, so you got 2 in the front, 2 in the back. The guy in the middle, you spread it out, so it's like a sandwich.
Violent J sandwich.
he's double wide,
double meat, double cheese. Extra $1 at Subway here for this song.
He was putting a couple extra dollars in this area. Come over here. I want to tell you a story. He tells a good story.
I joke about how fucking 3 minutes of this song is Violent J, and I joke that he just talks and then he has to double it up. But this is a very memorable and, as we say, very ICP of 2001 verse.
Yeah.
This has him written all over it, which goes back to, this is not Lotus-like. This could be on Bizarre. This could be on Jekyll Brothers.
Yeah.
This could be on The Tempest. Whatever the fuck.
Right.
It's just him talking about goofy, stupid shit. Don't get me started when we get to the end. That's a whole nother thing. So don't throw that in before we're.
No, we have to start with cocaine cum with a crack pipe dick. What a fucking line.
That is funny. Couldn't get a bass head to buff my shit. And I have a note. So the beat like has the little like the record skip there, which is cool. I think that adds to. I just whistled.
Spooky.
It adds to, the light was on in your street, so that was good.
Oh, that's good. Well, they know this is a more upbeat song, so the spirits let the light back on for this one.
Although of all 10 songs so far, I'm pretty sure it's rained on my way here, like 8 of the 10. So every time I'm walking up your driveway, I'm like, God damn it, it's fucking...
It's a sign we should do Black Rain next. This black rain keeps falling down.
Wrong Lotus. Let's stick to this Lotus first. Let's stick to the cocaine cum, crack pipe dick. Speaking of crackheads, I am a crackhead.
that's like you said, Jay of that time. When
I mean, I don't
changes
smoke,
his voice
but
up like
I got
that.
a crack in my head.
I could have cocaine come with a crack pipe dick, and I couldn't get a bass head to buff my shit. Speaking of crackheads, I am a crackhead. I mean, I don't smoke, but I got a crack in my head.
Like, it's cool. Like, we all love it. It's just so fucking goofy and stupid. We talked about it last season, and this is just a side-by-side comparison of the differences. I'll say at the time, but I mean, I think it's changed over time. The differences between Twisted and ICP.
Right.
Like, ICP are great at storytelling and putting things together and merch and tours and all that shit, right? Fucking rapping is not one of them. Like, Jamie Madrox is an MC.
Yeah.
He's not an MC like fucking Royce. He's
But in the
like,
Juggalo world, yeah.
MC for sure. And
I think he's even underrated when it just comes to general. Because I don't think because of where he's fit in.
Yes,
he doesn't get enough credit in general for type of his flow.
I mean, everyone knows I'm not saying that, but yeah,
no,
I'm not
but
saying
just
that if
a
he
general
went to like
statement on it.
Yeah, if he went to like Detroit normal hip hop, he'd be fine. It's just the fact that
right,
he gets looked at. He has a bad rap. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
that's where I was tying this together.
No, but like you said,
see how I dodge things like we said, and get right out of that.
Everything's levels. Boy. Yeah, like Royce's level is a fucking. There's not many people in general in rap at all who's going to touch what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he was just rapping, like you said, local hip hop scene, he would totally have fit in on the. As this time, early 2000s in local Detroit, you had the Paradigm, Fat Killas.
Oh God, I wasn't even thinking about the time frame. But
yeah, when
right.
you said Detroit hip hop, I'm thinking like if he wasn't doing this and he was doing that stuff, he would have totally fit and probably been one of the better ones in the group for sure.
He'd been, yeah. I want to diss people, but I can't. I have to be nice. You can diss people if you want, but
just homie Jiggles.
Oh,
and Boy Kelly earlier.
I'm
hot on all our friends in this episode.
Yeah, why are you mad at Boy Kelly? What did he do?
Remember, he was big timing us in the Gordy days.
Oh yeah. Did we record that, or were we talking about that before we started recording?
I think we recorded that.
I don't even remember. Sorry, Kelly.
He's a good boy, Kelly.
We're just having fun. Sorry. Anyways, back to Violent J. So yeah, he's a crackhead, but not really, because he has a crack in his head. He sews it together, and nobody loves me. I'll be quick to admit it. My mama says she loves me, but she won't let me in it. I'm kidding. Christopher, explain to me, what is he kidding about?
That he wants to fuck his mother?
Are you sure that he's not kidding that she wouldn't let him in it?
Come on, now.
You're the one that said it was a character, and it's okay for me to ask these questions.
As I went through that, I'm taking them all as characters, of course, because, they're not...
Because they're using their same name, so, I mean, why would it be a character?
It's like wrestling. You're yourself, but over-the-top goofiness. But Jay, I think, has some stuff that are... We call real stuff, like with his dad beating him with a brick. Like, I'm not saying he was getting beat with a brick back then, but his dad obviously in his book, was a
piece of shit.
Yeah, so
I was going to mention that I don't know if he would admit it or not, but I bet he pulls a little bit of personal history into stuff like this.
I think there is some reality in that stuff, and then
So you're saying he was hitting on his mom?
God damn it!
You walked right into that.
I'm just saying. I think some of it's influenced on that level. I don't want to say that.
All right.
That was one, though, as we talked about first hearing this, first listen through this. That line and like him jacking off to Shaggy was when we first heard the CD that weekend, The Gathering, and I'm like, man, fucking, what is Jay on this? He's like out of control. He's so.
And 20 years later, we still haven't talked to Chris Sanchez. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. Can't listen to this anymore.
Well, we'll get to Sanchez. Popped hard in the line on this.
At the end?
Yeah.
So you just want to get right to that?
I mean, I guess that's where we're at, right?
Yeah. So
this is also, sorry.
No.
He's a character. Then you got my brothers. They call me Mental Case. He's only got one brother in real life.
Right.
So, character. Or he's calling the Lotus guys brothers.
That's true. Maybe he's calling because his neighbors love him. Maybe his neighbors are his brothers.
True.
Anyways, his head throbs, and then you can go right ahead. I take all the thunder here, so you might as well.
And then he comes with the most, as we would call it, the most horrorcore wicked line of the entire album. I'm about to roll Columbine and finish the fucking job. And he goes, pop, 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 pop. And that was the line we were driving back to the hotel. Like, I remember in my head, we were listening, and Sanchez's like, whoa, like, he always had the craziest, like, laugh. I remember we went to see, side note, we went to see Halloween Resurrection. When fucking...
Which one was that?
Buster Rhymes? Buster Rhymes dropped the, trick or treat motherfucker, and Roundhouse kicks him. Sanchez laughed so hard and, like, loud, and everyone turned around in the theater to look at us.
Sanchez is a big man.
Yeah,
and like a
especially in that
man.
era, for sure, yeah. So, like, that was the same thing. We were driving, and he like, what did he say? Like, because this wasn't that far off from when that happened. What, 2 years?
Columbine was, did we say 99 or 2000?
Yeah, 99.
So, yeah, this was not very far
No,
after
and that was the first, like, now it's like you're numb to it, sadly, but back then, that was like the first big school shooting that you've seen. So to him pull that out, it was like, whoa, fuck, this is dark. And as I said, the most wicked horrorcore album, of course. So Pete, what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think we touched on it a couple weeks ago, right? But if that's the definition of wicked.
In my eyes, that's, yeah. When I think of like horrorcore, which I hate, it's that. It's like something offensive and over the top to like, whoa.
So I think that's two different things, and maybe this is not the time or the place. That would be a good... I mean, we've had guests. That'd be an interesting round table if we had, like...
Yeah.
It's funny that you just brought them up. Like, I'd bring Kelly and Jiggles to that. Like, what makes something wicked? To your definition, correct me if I'm wrong, it's something that's politically incorrect or, like, touches a nerve.
I like...
And not politically incorrect, like, words, like we've talked about. Like, I'm not looking to be offensive to sexuality or race or gender.
Yeah, no.
Not like that. Not offensive in that term, but, like...
And violence. Yeah, of, like...
So violence...
Horror type, yeah. That's what I take it as.
Is the line... Is that Cartoon Nightmares? Where he talks about flying a plane into record label towers? Is that wicked?
Yeah, I think so. Because that's definitely clearly referencing 9/11 on that.
Well, yeah. No shit.
I'm just saying. It's not like he's saying it as because that was that came out in 2001, right? That
couldn't have. That had to be 2002. But it does seem like 01. No, because 01 was the...
Because that was September. Yeah, there's no way they would have recorded that. It had to be 02, 03. But still, close enough to where like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, too soon. Too soon now. But yeah, it's...
So is I get what you're saying, though, like, the joke, the aristocrats, like, is that horrorcore? Is that horrorcore comedy?
I mean, I was thinking, like, anything, like, it's a couple weeks now, but Gilbert Gottfried, rest in peace, like, take a shot for Gilbert.
A little Sipsky.
Everything he says is super offensive, right? But, like, that's not wicked. That's just, like, comedy. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but, like, some people find it funny, some people don't. That's this day and age, more people don't, but I find, I don't know. You're hypocritical if you like something and don't like something else, so I'm not trying to
to me it's funny because it's done
in a smart way.
And it's not done as like, I don't know, it's not like a attack on whoever it's involved, you know. I don't know. I think if it's well written, if it's not like, as we come to this, like, there's plenty of Bedlam songs back in the day that were just like, we're gonna say shit just to like say offensive words and shit. That not trying to make like a story or a drawn out like joke or something. Like
just literally just the first words out of your
like,
mouth.
Oh, what's fucked
rape,
up stuff we can talk about? Yeah, abduct, murder, rape, kill was their song. I'm like, the order they say it doesn't even make sense.
I never thought about that. I just assumed there was different aspects. Not that's not a recipe.
I'm just saying, like, that's where I think I always usually don't like horrorcore, because to me it was that era of like people who would like take a few things Esham or ICP or people did and like, oh, we're gonna do that times 20, and it's just you're doing it for the excess of like.
And how much can you do? Like, even if you're got a song we joke about and we danced, right? Which is pretty tame and comical.
Yeah.
Even if you made that vulgar as fuck. How do you put that up for like 4 minutes? Like, how can you talk about that shit that's like, what could you even do? And then you're doing that over like a whole CD?
It's like deathmatch wrestling. Good deathmatch wrestling's like FMW, Big Japan, where like it's just enough. A little sprinkled in, a little explosion. Then you got to like where CCW's out of control and they're just like, here's 3 hours of people trying to murder each other with like needles and fucking weed whippers. And
first match has like a pencil death match. I was gonna equate it, and you and our buddy Steve would probably be more into this. There's like horror movies that are smart, and there's horror movies that are just over the top for the sake of, you know, like you can have one that is
the era of like the Saw and Hostel and all those, where it was just, they called it like torture porn, where all the stuff from like the 80s where we love 80s horror, like slashers and people getting their heads cut off and all, but like it was more like campy and goofy, to where like they took in like, let's just make realistic kills and torture to make people like want to turn their heads. Like, I don't need that. No,
like, I don't need Texas Chainsaw to be like literally like sawing someone in half. You know, but I can't think of one. I'm sure you guys could, and maybe this is cliche and like trying to sound smart. Couldn't your best horror movie not even like show what the monster is?
Halloween. Halloween's in my mind, the best, one of my favorite movies ever, best horror movie. There's like, what, 3-4 kills in it? There's like no blood.
Yeah. I'm probably not
even the original Texas Chainsaw is super scary, terrifying. There's not a lot of like gore and violence in it.
But you get like the newer two, and that's just straight up like chainsawing someone's belly and like ripping them in half.
Which
right?
the new on Netflix is bad as a movie, but there's a lot of just fun gore. But that's another thing. Like, there could be fun gore, but like when you're doing like hyper realistic and it's just like torture and gore, like for no reason whatsoever, that just becomes like, this is like exhausting. Yeah. That's what Bedlam was.
Bedlam was exhausting too?
I say that with the kinds of terms, because I was a Bedlam mark for a while there.
You were a Bedlamite.
I still have my t-shirt. The definition on the back.
So yeah. We've been arguing that, I feel like, the last couple of weeks, but the whole Wicked, quote unquote, I don't know. It's weird to me, but maybe it's because I was never into it.
Right.
I was just straight Juggalo, ICP Twisted Blaze. I wasn't.
Yeah, you were never even into Isham, which was like the
very, very little.
Yeah.
But even like
Gravediggers, that was a more national version of like. That's the thing. So we had this discussion with someone recently of like, you guys all love Isham because he was local and big in Detroit, and that really is the truth. Like, especially when you look, I know Scrabbles or streams aren't the. And I said Scrabbles. That's what we. Last FM it shows you all your statistics, what you listen to. Streams is what I meant. You go on Spotify, you look at Isham's streams, like his highest stream is like 4,000, which I know you're not counting when he was bigger back in the day.
Right.
But he really was way more localized, music-wise.
I just remembered who we were talking about this, and I'm like, did we talk about this on an episode? And I forgot now.
No, this is off-air conversation. Yeah. But it's kind of true. Like, he was big here, and his claim to fame is influencing Eminem. Like, how many people would even know who he was if Eminem didn't say his name?
Probably the same number that know it now, because they just blew over it.
Yeah,
like
true.
If we'll use Garrett, right? Garrett probably knows of Isham because of us, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's hard to say because he's from here. Like, anyone outside of the area.
If he was from somewhere else, would he remember that verse from M that long ago and be like, oh, I know Isham?
Yeah.
I don't know if he would.
But like, Isham's always credited as one of the influencers of horrorcore, wicked shit.
Yeah, and you can't take that away from him.
No, and
right?
I think he is, but like, I don't. Yeah, we're so plugged into Detroit, and him being like, he was the man back in the day. Everyone was like, oh, those shows are scary. You don't want to go to Isham's show. He comes out of a coffin, all this crazy shit. But yeah, outside of the area, I'd be curious. Like, Gravediggers was the album that was like scary. Ghetto Boys, like,
which is crazy. Yeah, those are like the true, not the true, but they were other influencers of said culture.
Yeah, how much did those influence more so than Isham when it comes to that type of stuff? That's a whole other side topic, but
then obviously ICP and Twisted influenced a whole nother
I think they
group of people.
They more so influence what that whole, we say, the wave of horrorcore from.
I think it also comes with the time, right? Like, Esham was doing this in 91. So people were from then to like 96, let's say, were influenced by him. People who were, those people were just doing like tapes in their basement.
Yeah.
You had a couple that broke out, right? People who were influenced by ICP from like 96 to fucking now, not saying back then, but like, you could record on your computer. You could easily make a tape, a CD, put it online.
Yeah.
Now
I think you have two distinct waves. You have the ones who are making CDs, but you said you're easier than the tapes, and like
the technology is what I'm saying. Like
early days of internet, you could put it out there easier. You could pro it, but then like now, the almost like Ouija Mac broke out of this next wave of people who were influenced from this music, and you could just like he's same thing. He puts out fucking 500 albums. You could put as much you want online. Yeah. Easily record it.
I'm just trying to think back, like from even like 96 to let's say 01. All of the quote-unquote local or horrorcore or Juggalo rappers, you just had an influx of them. Is it because ICP had a bigger umbrella, so more people were spinning off of it than Esham? I think that is part of it too.
Yeah, I think for sure.
But the technology, like there was no internet in 91.
Yeah.
So people influenced by Esham couldn't just put their shit out there.
Right, you had to have heard them from an actual cassette tape.
I wish I could remember more people. Like I keep going back to like Hell's Kitchen and like shit like that may not technically
the Hellfire Club?
Not the Hellfire Club. That may technically be horrorcore, but like that's like just like Detroit and Toledo, like that type of music. And I'm sure they don't want to like be cast as Juggalo rappers, but I don't know. That's kind of you can't have it both ways. You can't cater to those fans and then be totally influenced by them. Bedlam, right? I mean, flat out, they had to be influenced by ICP.
Oh, yeah. I had the VHS tape in his Madness was the dude. He had his one room was all fucking old Esham and ICP posters and stuff.
Yeah, motherfucker opened for them in 96.
Did he?
He's part of KGP, right? Before he was in Bedlam. Everything I gather, like he's a nice guy and all that shit, but like I'm telling you, he's the only person I've ever seen booed off a stage. That Halloween, they were booed off stage.
Well, he wasn't like the one who became the rapper. The two was Prozac for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
I always go back to this CD. To go to your topic now that I'm all over the place. Brother Lynch Hung.
Oh yeah,
that was like another one, right? That's kind of horrorcore.
But he was like. He's out in California, right?
I just mean like he's
from that era.
A predating of.
Yeah.
Now, this wasn't horrorcore, but like in that era was like Jake the Flake and people like that.
Yeah.
Like, but that was just underground hip hop, right?
Yeah,
that wasn't
I thought that was more like drug dealing.
Yeah, I think so.
I never thought Ghetto Boys was until like I've heard people say like that was the scary one that influenced.
I agree.
People.
Like that's always like a weird one to me. So this one that I always think of when we talk about this, but I have no like physical recollection, or I mean no tie to it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. There was a CD in 01 that came out that was called Teacher Killers, and it was a compilation CD, and it was supposed to be like, this is the fucking craziest, wickedest, whatever. And I'm like, I don't get it. So looking at it now, of course this picture is fucking horrible, so I can't see who's on it. It looks like Half Breed, Ghetto E, Jake the Flake, 3-6, Brother Lynch Hung, Chaos, 51 Third, MC Breed, Mad Infinity, and more. I'm sorry if I'm reading those wrong, but this is like the worst fucking graphic ever, and you can't even like read what that says.
Do you remember what year that like?
2001.
Okay.
It's on Discogs. But I remember thinking like, oh, this is like what hip-hop is, or what hip-hop, Jesus, what horrorcore is. Like, am I supposed to like this?
Right.
But, yeah, does that mean that, like, is 3-6 horrorcore?
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely spooky when they first came out.
You got Freeze on here, Castro the Savage, Dead Mike. The fuck? What is this shit? But, like, I'm sorry, my point being, what makes something wicked and what doesn't? And we spent way too much fucking time on this. I apologize.
you can
but
trim
like,
some off if you need.
Yeah, I don't know. Now we're going into like the history of horrorcore, which I don't know, how did we get on that topic? But
like I said, in my mind, that was the most wicked, quote unquote, line in the album.
I will end with this, unless you want to keep going.
No, that's fine.
I'm trying to think of... I'm confusing horrorcore with Juggalo rap. And I'm sure those intertwine, like the circle graph fucking overlaps a lot, but maybe not all. So, like, I'm thinking L.U. Cypher and fucking who did I say before? Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Even like, I mean, we knew people who were doing it too. Fucking, I can't think of their names, but fuck it, Toxic. Did you ever meet Tom?
I remember, yeah.
And before them, there was like other groups that they associated with. It's such a fine line, like of catering to Juggalo fans,
right? Not
saying that you're Juggalo rappers, not being horrorcore, but kind of being horrorcore. Like Mass Confusion was what I was thinking of. There's a ton of them, and I never gave them the time of day, to be perfectly honest. I'm like, this is not for me.
Right.
So there's probably a ton more. And now you have like, God, now we're going off. Like you have Hobson and Mars, not with a Z.
With the S.
Who's the other asshole that I just heard someone talking about? Yeah, there's a ton of them, and I don't get it.
It's those guys who are opening for Twisted, Super Fun Group or something. I don't know if they're Juggalo rappers, but like they're in that.
They looked funny, but I've never gotten.
Luchadors. I never. I think I maybe listened to a song or two just out of curiosity, but I can't remember. But
they're part of Bedlam's crew, right?
Alazul's.
Oh, Jesus. I apologize. You're right. That's
come on now. Yeah, they're on their like sub label.
Yeah. I wish I could remember who this other guy is that I'm thinking of, but I really don't know. I apologize. But yeah, there's a whole new like era of that, and they've taken it to another level. And we're not diving in, but to give Al Azul and Ouija credit, they are the ones who like you could tell were fans.
Yeah,
they were fans. They came up, they did whatever. Fucking ex-Murder Boys. I guess you can say the same thing for them, right? But those two in particular, like, I may not like Ouija shit. He may rap for a different generation, but, like, you can tell he was a fan.
Yeah.
And not like a shitty, I'm rapping into my computer mic fan. Like, he's... whatever.
He's definitely skilled for sure.
So... I respect that you could tell he was a hardcore fan, and he like picked up that he wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to be.
And he didn't just copy them; like he did it in his own style, for sure.
He's not some shitty YouTube rapper that's just like painting their face and like rapping about stupid shit. Maybe he is stupid.
Well, that goes back to like you said, the horrorcore, where people are just saying shit like, oh, they do scary, spooky horror stuff, so I'm going to do it like all crazy and all this. But like the actual music fucking sucks.
Yeah, I have a Skeletor mask.
Yeah. Ouija kind of took, like you said, the Juggalo stuff, but made it his own. Like there's nothing about him that made me think about it. Like if I listen to him just on a whim, not knowing his connection, I wouldn't think, oh, it's ICP. But then when you listen to it a few times, you're like, oh yeah, I could get the connection.
Yeah, it's subtle enough.
Right.
I think Al Azul did the same thing. They're way more like horror. But like talking about shit like that, but they're smart with it and they're good.
Yeah, those are both good examples of people who took all the way back to the beginning. We said of these horrorcore artists that jumped up and tried to run with it. They took parts of the things that influenced them, but made it their own, and yeah, it stuck for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit out there. But all right, that's enough horrorcore history for us. So that's probably the last time we'll ever do that.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, guys. You can thank Violent J for that.
Yes. So let's reiterate. Chorus, Violent J. Third verse, Violent J. Chorus, Violent J. Bridge, Violent J. Hey, Kelly, it's me, Jay.
I always like his phone calls.
Again, we can't harp on this. This is not fucking Dark Lotus. This is straight up. This is an ICP skit. This might as well be fucking Beverly Kills.
So it makes me think of Hell's Pit. I always die. I remember picking the CD up at Rock of Ages when I worked there at Holman, a car dealership. Driving back with my buddy who's not a Juggalo. Threw in the tape back. Even to this day, he references it. We're listening to it. It's the Suicide Hotline. He's like, hey, it's me. Well, I'm about to fucking kill myself. Like, this is what this skit reminds me of.
Now I gotta know. Who was that?
Caleb. Yeah. He still to this day says that to me because he's like, what a fucking weird... Why would you buy this CD? What the hell are you talking about?
I'd love to talk to him about this shit.
Oh, yeah, he'd be a good guest.
He'd be like Garrett, but like way more low key of like, what the fuck?
He'd just be confused. He'd be like, I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad you like this.
What's he up to? I haven't talked to him in forever.
Just being a dad.
Just normal life.
Yeah, living life.
I had someone specifically message me and say that, are we going to make fun of Jay talking to Kelly like it's fucking K-Fresh Kelly? Hey, Kelly, it's me, Jay. I know you want to interview me for HuffPo. Call me back. I'm not that stale.
I'm not that stale.
So, yeah, just overall, I get that you need breaks in between, something fun, blah, 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 skits, phone calls. This doesn't scream Dark Lotus. This screams fucking ICP.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Like
you said, it could have been from those sessions of like Bazaar and...
Now, I talked about this a couple episodes ago, and this is what I thought. So I misspoke back then. Yeah. This is what I was referring to, where he says, give me a chance, I'm not that stale. I mean, just because. Is he referencing, hey, just because of why I'm fucked up? Mm-hmm. Or is he leading right into, I mean, just because, and then Blaze says, terrible thoughts run through my mind? Like,
yeah.
Is that supposed to be one continuous thought?
Yeah, I think so.
So Blaze is picking up on what Jay was
saying. They're all the same. They're all intertwined as the same type of scumbag in this, and yeah, it just bleeds out. I like how that does it, though.
It's interesting. I just didn't know if that's happy coincidence or if Blaze was really picking up on what he was like, finishing what he started.
I think Jay added that after he had Blaze's verse. I just played off of Blaze's verse there.
So Blaze's verse, I love the dead man, right? I love y'all like live bitches. I like the dead kind.
That's a good line.
I love that line. But his verse, I'm not really feeling. He's not really... I guess he's talking about like his problems in his head, and does it make him a bad guy? No. Like thought process wise, everyone hating on him, but I don't know. I just don't think it fits the rest of the gimmick. That's all.
It feels like a early Blaze where he's still trying to figure out his place in the group. Because he's talking about, even though we like to murder, we ain't heartless. Like he's like, okay, we have a lot of songs about killing and all this, so that's what I gotta do.
Fun-loving killers.
Yeah. I feel like it's him still filling up. But I do love, after you said the live bitches, dead kind, I like the hanging with killers, creeping phantoms in the darkness. Yeah. I like that little line too.
Maybe he's talking about ICP, the killers, and Twisted or the Phantoms.
Yeah, could be.
I like at the end, well, I can't help it, I've got a bad reputation, literally calling back to the name of the song.
He's done that a couple times, I feel like, right?
It's always fun when, like, a movie, when you're watching something and, like, an hour and a half in, they, like, hit the line, and you're like, oh, that's why it's called that. And same with the song, I think it's fun. Also fun, he has a little wordplay with reputation, devastation, decapitation, all rhyming. So
yeah, I got 3 in a row there. Got to make up because sometimes Shaggy doesn't rhyme at all.
Oh, Jesus. He's like, well, it's like hockey. We're like -2 in the rhyme, so I got to pick up the pace.
I got to pick up the slack.
I don't know. It's all right, but I don't know. I don't think it really adds.
I think it's fine.
It doesn't fit the gimmick, but like it's fun. It's just, I don't know. They can't all be winners, right? Jamie Madrox coming up next.
Yeah. No.
You're the Zodiac.
That's what a lot of the song is. The Zodiac should be doing the hook. Yes, no, yes, no. There's a lot of that going on here.
Did you ever get your Zodiac figure?
No, I still gotta get that.
All right. It's also like you always say, as soon as Jamie's voice hits, like it's like carving through the beat, right?
Yeah,
like it's cool.
He rides a beat well, better than anyone for sure in the group.
I think he paints a cool story. I'm sorry, I keep taking over.
No.
You can start. I don't want to. Just don't do that right away. Don't pick the lowest hanging one right off the bat.
No, I was just I like they rather sit in the stare and make fun of my hair. That's a full Juggalo from that era line. I used to rock the fucking hair like them back then for a little bit here and there. So
the fucking spider legs.
Yeah,
what a mark.
That's the era of that hair for sure. Just at shows, I would.
And the next day at school.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't take it out.
Because I didn't shower, because I just went right to class.
That happened a few times. So I was pulling hay out of my hoodie that I was wearing that Juggalo threw at me.
Yeah, I think he goes back to dare I say, the J verse and the Monoxide verse, where he's strictly saying, hey, people don't like me, and this is why, and this is what they do. Whereas Blaze and Shaggy kind of didn't as well, I think, as
he calls back to Blaze too with the killer. I mean, I guess anyone could say killer, but I feel like him, Jay, and Blaze all tie together well on this.
My mama hates my guts, but I can never ever hate her. So he's saying everyone hates him, even his mother.
And even this bitch he used to fuck.
Says my dick's too small.
She must have been listening to Most Tasteless.
Great callback. But we know that wasn't true, because he right away says that's not what she was saying when she took it all.
Yeah, I think this confirms our speculation from season 1. Right from the man's mouth, right from the man's pants. That the size was not the issue.
So it wasn't the issue, but you're saying it was there.
It's there.
The problem?
Something's there.
All right, well.
This all ties back. If you are listening right now to Season 2, Tales from the Lotus Pod, and do not know why we keep bringing up Jamie's dick, Season 1, we had a little miscommunication with the lyrics to, is it on Meat Cleaver?
No, it was way before then.
Where he says,
I thought it was like, before even like First Day Out. I thought it was like Murder, Murder, Murder. It was early in the season.
It was the line where he talks about, it sounds like he's saying, has his balls wrapped around his dick.
Yeah, we speculated did he have giant balls? We can't get into this again.
But regardless, it was proven that we misinterpreted the lyrics. Definitely, he was saying he was holding his dick and his balls, and not that he was wrapping them above them. So that's why we've been speculating. And just a little side note, more confirmation that it's totally normal. If he's very vulgar to this woman, like that's.
Yeah, he's
intense.
He's low key, maybe the most vulgar of the group.
I'm like, hey man, calm down a bit.
Yeah, she's just whatever, just having sex with you. What more do you want?
What more do you want? Hey, she's spreading rumors after he left.
Possible. All my dogs and my true friends think I'm insane. So I noted this. They say Jamie doesn't rationalize or talk in normal ways. There's a cool little like background where I like him like talking gibberish.
Oh, really?
And then
I don't remember it.
And this bitch I used to fuck say my dick too small. She wasn't saying that when she took it all in the jaw. And all my dogs and my true friends think I'm insane. They say Jamie doesn't rationalize or talk in normal ways.
I don't know if this is a total callback, but just he doesn't rationalize. Always makes me go back to the Bone song "Unrational."
Oh, that's a great song. Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I just think that's
I'm a little irrational.
I just think it's a nice little like tie-in.
Yeah.
Whether
if it's
meant to or not.
Happy coincidence or if it's on purpose. That's cool.
And then you have the chorus by Violent J. Then you have
everyone does the no, nope, no, nope.
Yes, for a long period of time.
Yes.
Yes, no, yes, no.
And then he has another outro where it's just like the second part of the phone call. I don't want to say this is like every guy at a certain age, but where you're like, hey, fuck you, call me back.
Yeah.
Why won't you call me back? Like, just in our older age, if we could tell people, like, I don't even know if, like, your brother's in this era. He may be a little too old for this, but, like, don't get tied up with that shit. Like, if something's not meant to be, just don't go for it and be this guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the whole angry for the sake of, like,
it's not, you're not going to change anything.
No.
Being crazy.
And even if you are, it's not going to last. Like,
You're right. There's something wrong if she does come back.
Yeah.
Especially if you say what Jay says in his fucking voicemail.
Yeah. He doesn't drop a lot of these lines a lot, but he sure drops them here. He's an angry man. He's just asking for a second chance.
Do you think it's the same, as another callback, the same girl that Jamie's talking about? Are they all the same person as Jay's went into Blazes, and now he's also talking about Felicio, as Jamie was?
That's a very meta question, right? Like, when you have a group like this, are they 5 voices? Or are they, is it like Herman's head, a reference that people get? Is it like 5 voices in one person's head, or is it 5 distinct people?
I don't know. Go either way on this one.
I don't know. I think you're thinking a little too deep. I think they're 5 different people.
I don't think they went that way.
No.
Call me back, bitch!
You're such a fucking slutty fucking whore. Call me back.
Bitch! And that's a nice tie-in to what we'll get to next week.
Because literally, I think the first word of the next song is bitch. Yeah, next week is going to be a fucking track. So yeah, a lot of Violent J there. But yeah, that's bad rap. Bad rap. I always say bad rap.
Yeah, bad rap.
Like you have a bad rap.
Yeah, that's what I say, but yeah, it's bad rap, you're right.
Bad reputation.
Devastation, all out, panic.
And there was no notes, no nothing, no...
No, I mean, it's a very straightforward song.
Yeah, we only spent an hour dissecting that.
Well, 40 minutes of us talking about horrorcore music.
History of horrorcore. Apologies to anyone whose group I either didn't mention or I did mention, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't...
You were very kind to some of them.
I didn't knock anybody. The one person I wanted to diss, I didn't, so you should congratulate me for not talking shit about him.
It's true. Kept your composure.
Him, them.
They.
General. Not like how you berated Jiggles.
I'm just saying, Jiggles is very confident. He has
confident man.
He is. I just want some receipts, as they say on Twitter. Bring the receipts. People get angry in the comment sections. I always laugh at that.
Who says that?
I don't know. I've seen it a few times. I always laugh. People get so fucking angry in comment sections.
Well, you're part of toxic Twitter, so that would make sense. All right. Are we done? Oh, no, we're not done because we have more stuff to talk about real quick. Bop, bop, bop. We talked about the lyrics.
Da, 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 da. I'm loving it. Sound like you're about to do the fucking McDonald's jingle.
We talked about it. They actually played it live, so that's cool. Historical lines, spots in Juggalo culture, I think we kind of touched on as we went along. Like, there's definitely some quotable shit in there.
Yeah.
A lot in Jay's, I think, is quotable. Blaze had the one, Monoxide's got a couple. Yeah. So overall, pretty quotable, but like historic in the sense of like this is an epic song.
No, I think quotable at that time. I don't know how much more it's quoted now, 20 fucking years later.
Yeah, I think we've alluded to it a little bit. All history on this CD, anything that we're like, hey, does that stick out?
Yeah.
This CD is fucking sandwiched with front and back of like super memorable, right?
Right.
So like everything in between may fall like curse of that.
I don't even know if the beginning is anywhere.
Oh, no, the end is like crazy, but I think Alibaba and Juggalo Family are like
the 2 tracks
sandwiching.
Yeah,
like,
stand above the rest.
For memorable shit.
Right.
That's all. So talking about memorable shit, we are going to now, unless you have something else to debate.
Yes.
No. We are going to talk about the MVP.
Yeah.
So we didn't mention it before, but if you follow us on Twitter at JuggaloRWD and you see the pinned tweet for this week, you'll see who you can vote for, who your favorite is on this track. Maybe this week Chris will put 3 on one and 2 on the other, not 4 on one. Or you can. See what happens. I don't know.
Though I only did that once where I had one extra floating on the second pole, and it made total sense why I didn't split them up evenly.
I wouldn't have thought. I probably would have done the same thing. So go to Juggalo. Go to Twitter. Go to the pinned tweet and vote for who you think the MVP of this track was. Chris, who is your MVP for Bad Rep?
I'm bouncing back between 2 here.
I gotta reopen my book because I already closed it. So.
But I think when I think of this track, I think this is who I have to pick. Go with.
I mean, that's certainly one way to go. I think I'm going to give it my MVP vote to.
That was where I was leaning also back and forth.
That's a tough one. I think maybe because no one really steps up their game here. So,
Right.
not steps up their game, but everyone's pretty even.
Jumps out above the pack, yeah.
There's another one that I think kind of stuck out for coolness. Do I want to? Nah, I'm okay.
I know one for sure you won't pick. Shaggy.
We're just going to leave that in. That's okay.
You can believe it. I don't.
No, we can leave it.
I didn't think it was that bad. You were the one.
Well, maybe you voted for it. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
We'll see in the end, at the end of the season.
It'll all be explained in
I
the book.
knew you were going to say that. And at the end of the season, we'll tally up the votes, see who the MVP is. The people get a vote, we get a vote, and then we'll go from there.
That's right.
And we'll have other, discussions on the end of the season. Just because we hit .com doesn't mean the season's over. We'll probably have at least, we're hoping, a good handful of episodes after that.
Yeah.
1 for sure. If we're lucky, 3.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
A little tease ski.
See what the pages of the Lotus tell us.
Once the Wraith floats out of the book, we can
see
go.
if Pete's still around after the fucking ghoul pulls him into the mirror.
I forgot that's a whole nother episode.
I don't think it's easy a full episode, does it?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll just do it before the wrap up.
Yeah, just sandwich it in the wrap up. Maybe we should do it record it after the wrap up show in case you're, crazy. In case you become like these characters in the song.
You want me to record it first, just in case? I was thinking, do I record literally while I'm in it? But what do I talk about by myself for fucking a half hour? That'd be stupid, right?
Yeah, well, you just read the thing and then you just sit there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. Tune in at the end of the season, which will be in June, I think.
We'll ask
right?
Papa Danhausen, get his take on how we should record a seance.
Yeah, make him do it. Just for kicks, we're probably looking at that. That'd be like mid-June. So...
Hopefully it'll finally be summer up here in Michigan.
Hopefully.
By then. It's going to snow Monday.
But by mid-June, we also have a Blaze show.
Yeah.
So we got
to be in the house for that.
Hopefully.
The old blind pig. Ooh, buddy, that's a party spot.
If you don't have to go to, you don't have your family vacation that weekend.
No, I think I'm clear that weekend.
That was the weekend after?
I think so, yeah.
So we got some time. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Big Blaze and then homie. Anyways, just to reiterate all the stuff that you already know, at Juggalo RWD is where you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Phone number, give us a phone call, leave us a message, 810-666-1570. Tell us about your seance, or talk about Astronomicon seeing us, or just history of Dark Lotus, or just leave us some bullshit, and we're here for it. JuggaloRewind.com. Or you can always email us, juggalorwd@gmail.com. Don't forget, wherever you listen, rate, review, subscribe. You can do it more than once. You don't just have to do one. You can keep that going.
Yeah.
So,
spread the word. Share on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you want to share.
Yeah.
Email.
We don't have a contest for that, but maybe we should pick that up in season 3.
Yeah.
Do something for sending it out there, getting like a little bonus point every time you share with someone.
Right.
So the only way we're going to get bigger is if you help us, I guess.
Bigger, badder, better.
Season 3.
Oh, there you go.
There's the logo. All right. You got anything else, or are we ready to wrap this boy?
Ready to go.
All right. Thank you, Chris. This is Peter. This is episode 10, season 2, the Juggalo Rewind podcast.
Yes. No. Yes.
All right. We're back next week with a very special episode. Man, it's going to be a banger. So, see you next week for... I thought you were going to start singing. That's why you just had that look like you were going to start.
No, I'll start singing some Rod Stewart, though. And you think I'm sexy.
All music played in this episode and in this entire season is owned by the respective publishers and copyright holders and is reproduced for review purposes only under fair use.